So is it recording now? There's a.
Yep.
So when the red dot is on the screen, it means it's recording.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll have to cut my voice out.
Are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. Yay! Thank you so much.
So I approached this collection, did not really know what it was going to look like. I've never worked with ones like so burned before, so that was new. I start this collection with cleaning it really well, as much as I can knock off, which I would never actually do with the other books that I work with. Usually I work with a trash can, because this collection's been so dirty. Oh, it's fine. These, for you two guys, the hard stiff brushes have been what I've been using, just sort of, and it looks a lot more rough than you probably should be with them. There'll be little pieces that you can't really save. Occasionally I don't have the glue with me, but some of them just come off. A lot of this has been hard to save, but I just have started it by cleaning them. I don't know, it takes about 5-10 minutes of brushing and then going on the inside crack.
So basically you just keep brushing it until nothing
Mm-hmm.
more comes off?
I would not normally approach a book like that because it's just really rough and I don't know, you kind of want to keep as much as possible typically, but because these are so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on them to knock off. So when I'm done, it looks more like this. Like it's still, that's about as clean as they get. But this looked like that when I started, and you'll still have a little bit that comes off. But that'll after it gets oiled and sealed, that kind of stops. But as you go along, there's two for you guys. These little, I guess there's two, a black one and a red one on each. Sometimes they can be hard to save, but if it comes off, you can keep it in a little envelope, slip it inside here. If you feel comfortable gluing it back on, you can. But that's just what I do as I work. Little pieces will come off, and I just keep them in a little envelope. And sometimes they're savable, sometimes not. If not, they just get replaced with rice paper, which is what we'll do in the next demonstration. But if you guys want to look at that one, or especially you two, here, I'll sit. But it should be, when you're working with it and done brushing it, should feel kind of like. Once I've done that, that's when it lightly gets cleaned. It's basically just water. There's a drop of Dawn in it that helps break up the surface dirt, but not much really gets washed or cleaned on these. But it just kind of helps take off a little bit and set it up for the next step. And as you go, tons of stuff will fall off. And it should look basically like that. You don't really want it any wetter than that. I usually let them dry for a day or two before I go back to them, but they really just need 30-45 minutes or so if you're working on just the one. But I usually set up, I have like 3 or 4 that I'm working on at a time. So cleaning it and brushing it. After it's been cleaned and brushed, because all of these are going to be oiled, I set up parchment paper to try to protect the text block just a little bit. Do I have parchment paper? What do you need? I have some in my bag. Parchment paper? Did you have some down here?
Parchment? No, I have wax paper, but not parchment paper. I can go up and get some. Oh.
I'm not sure what you guys have upstairs, but I always use this. I don't know what I would do without it, but it's been really, really handy, especially for stuff like this, and especially when I do the patchwork. A lot of it would be really hard to do without, I don't know what it's called, or what you guys use, normally. So I just kind of seal it off. A really awkward Christmas present wrapping job. This one's going to be a little short for it. I should have come down a little bit more, but it basically just gets tucked in like this. It's the easiest way to do it. It's folded in and taped. Can you hand me that? This is usually what I use. Most will adhere to this. I don't know what you guys also have upstairs.
Just masking tape with it.
Clear tape also, but some will just peel off too easily. But then it's good to go. And so you, 2 pieces, so you know what it looks like. See, it peels up a little bit. This is like the end result after you wrap it that you're looking for. It just helps keep all of this stuff as you're working stay off of the. So that's kind of the goal that you're looking for it to look like. Yes.
And the wrapping of the text block is to keep it clean while you're working on the book. Okay.
So it's pretty dirty. You have like residue and everything the whole time. So the next step after it's been wrapped, it's cleaned, it's ready to go. It gets a oil dressing added to it. Do we have that down here? It's like a golden
Oh, yes.
oil.
The
Stuffs.
the treatment. Yes. It was here. Did I move it somewhere?
There are different tons of variations of it. The one that we use
Is that what you mean? Okay.
is called a dressing, but I'm terrible at getting in this stuff.
You want me to do it?
Oh, wait. This is the only material of everything that I kind of like to use a lot of. These books have never really been treated or oiled, so it really, the leather really does soak up as much as you can get on it. It's also really messy. So I usually layer everything with parchment. All the surfaces that you're using, you're probably going to want to be laying something like this of paper down as you go. It's super dirty. And yeah, I don't know what materials you guys use upstairs. In my studio, I use little cups like this for everything, so there's no like real cross-contamination.
Yeah, we have plenty of these.
In case one of them, yeah, I don't know, has something weird in it, and it kind of gets transferred to another book and starts growing. You wouldn't want that. But yeah, so I just use, I don't know, this much, maybe twice as much as this gets used on one book. But I just start with about that much.
And we buy this stuff from a company called Talus. It's on the label, but I'm sure there might be other places that have it, but that's where we've ordered it from.
And just start with a leather like this. Actually, a bigger brush. And use sort of brushes shaped like that are the easiest. And try to focus on the spines and the edges. But you can tell as you go along, like the driest parts of them are where you really want to focus. But the damage on these is mostly, it's always, you know, from the edges and the spines. It's going to look kind of like that. And in a day or two, it's going to dry and look kind of like that. And in a few weeks, it'll kind of even dry up a little bit more and get to be about that color. Yeah. But it looks pretty, I don't know. I wouldn't think, I don't know, you just use a lot more than you would think. It really does soak it up.
And do you, after this dries, might you add some more to it, or is one application
Try to
pretty
do
good?
it to cut down on labor, just the once, because it does take a minute to do, so I just use a little bit more so I don't have to do it twice.
Mhm.
But you just
Maybe
put
so.
on one coat, do you?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the spine's the same. These spines are very weird, and stuff will flake off the whole time that you're working with these spines. You're just trying to save as much as you can. And when you get into the final stage, you'll be able to seal in what's there, but as you go, like tons will be coming off of it and be getting in your materials, which is why you kind of just want to use a little bit at a time.
As you can see from most of the things on the shelves, the spines were obviously on the shelves when they were exposed to the heat source, because the covers themselves are in pretty good shape, other than the fact that they might become detached from the spine. So I did try to find out what the event was that damaged these, but nobody had a clue. So no one. I mean, it's predated anybody who was at the courthouse. So
Oh, I missed a step for you guys. You don't have to, but while you're oiling them, you'll probably see little bits like this. You can leave it if you want to, but if you feel up to it, you can just add a little bit of that glue and tuck it down. Do it after you clean it with the water. If it's knocked out too much, don't worry about it, because I'll go in and completely replace it.
She said yes.
I forgot that, but you don't have to, but if you want to,
if she meant the consolidator, or if she meant
to try it out,
use-
that's
use-
definitely worth doing. You can kind of see, you'll be able to see how you can blend leather. Once it gets wet and oiled and you're kind of gluing it back down, you can blend it onto itself. Or, I don't know,
Is that the glue she's talking
so it's
about?
kind of
I don't know, we'll
interesting
have to
to always
clarify.
try it.
Leah, we have a question because you used the word glue. So what did you mean? Did you mean ordinary, or your? Because I know I stick things together with.
The PVA
Cellular
that we
gel.
use, or that I use for
Right.
the fly sheets,
Okay.
and for the rice paper.
Okay, so you're using that to tack down loose
Use that for
pieces as
everything.
well.
It's not that stuff, is it?
No, this
Oh, okay.
the cellular gel comes later.
Okay.
But is it straight PVA or is PVA mixed with something else?
Depending on what is getting glued, it gets diluted. Because it gets used from everything to these little things, to fly sheets. That paper, this is called the fly sheet, or this is looking pretty rough. And I'll replace those on volumes. That one, you know, if it has too much water, it wrinkles it and it's kind of hard to work with. If the rice paper has too much water, it's hard to work with. But yeah, I'll show those next
time.
That's the most annoying part, is kind of, there's only a few consistencies, but once you get them down, it's a lot easier.
Okay.
But the rice paper is really hard to work with when it's too wet. But yeah, I do try to dilute it a little bit. It comes really, really thick. The oil, I let it dry. Once it's been oiled, it looks kind of like this. I let it dry at least 24 to 48 hours. I don't know how you guys are going to set it up. I do 4 to 6 at a time and kind of just always have them staged and cycling. Once it's dry, that's when you can do the Cellugel layer.
I think there's some. If you want to pour a little in my dirty jar, because I just mixed that the clean
I'm
jar.
going to use this
Okay.
guy so I can fit
Okay.
the